We are looking pretty good. What up, chat? We're looking pretty good. You guys can't tell, but I spent like a whole day and a half cleaning. I had to clean up some, but I utilized that time to, I had to push this desk back. You're probably not going to be able to tell, but the background, I was getting too much issue going on with my background, so it doesn't matter. But I actually got a little more space away from the wall here, so I have the light set up cleaner. I mean, you guys, like I said, you guys can't tell, but when I get going live and I'm doing lighting tests and sound tests, it's so much cleaner how I have it. Because before I had it right up against a wall, and it really limited you. So even though it sounds awkward to have an L-shaped desk, and you kind of put it in near the side of your room like a V, it actually allows on both sides for you to, access some of your setup. So I'm hyped. That's it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start a poll in the comment box. Let me find the comment box and pop it out. Here we go. Pop out the chat. I'm going to move it over here real quick. I'm going to start a poll in the comment box. And if you're new here, I'm going to kick off first impression review about 15-20 minutes or so. We did a spoiler-free one. I'm more positive on this episode, but I do want to go into some spoiler information from the episode. Let me start that poll real quick, though. This is going to be Dead City. And episode 101, did you love it or hate it? I mean, obviously, we could probably do, love, like, yada, yada, yada. Let's just distill it down to either did you love it or did you hate it? So we'll start that poll. And I'm going to get into my spoiler-free thoughts and opinions. Somebody already, before we started, someone tipped $5. There's going to be a link to direct tip down in the comment box, and there's text-to-speech and all that. It came in as anonymous, so I do want to give a shout out before we start. Thank you very much for the anonymous $5 tip. I appreciate that a lot. It helps a lot. And if you guys have questions for me, we're going to get into the fan feedback. Yeah, no in between. We're just doing love it or hate it right now. Either pick love or hate. I know there's going to be, we probably should have done like an in-between one, but I don't know. Maybe I should have done that to get a good feel. But here's the thing. I probably shouldn't have used love/hate. But my thing is, like, the reason I did it that way is I want to know, are you straight up more negative for it? Whether it's just meh, or you just hate it. Or are you more positive? Whether it's just like, okay, I wasn't blown away, but it's a good start. Or you're like, dude, I freaking love it. That's my main idea for just concentrating it down to, distilling it down to just simply, are you positive or negative about the episode? So don't get too hung up on, love if you didn't love it. If you liked it, that still counts, because I just want to see positive versus negative. All right. There's something else I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So if you do leave a tip, it'll do text-to-speech. If you do want to wait until I'm done with my review, I will tell you we're done and we're going into fan feedback. So with that said, I'm going to drop the comments down here because I do want to show a couple clips on the screen. Actually, I could probably pull up. I got some images here because the app sucks, but we're going to dive. Oh, wait, where's my image? And I think I might clip this and upload it separately for those wanting to view it separately. So let's kick off. What are we at? 4 minutes in, 4.5 minutes in. Let's kick off an intro. I'm going to do my review, and then I'll end the intro, and then we're going to get into the fan feedback. So if you have questions, hang on in a minute. We'll pull all that up, and we'll cover the poll and everything as well. So welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes. We're going to dive into Dead City episode 101, a spoiler-free breakdown of our thoughts and opinions. So kicking it off, I did like the intro, how it it really had a classic 1970s George Romero zombie vibe to it. And I think it had to do with the point of view through the little telescope thing she's looking at. What is this called? I used to know it too. I mean, that's not a scope. Oh man. They use that in the military too, don't they? I used to know what that is, and it's driving me nuts. All right, so moving on. So we jumpstart to one of my flaws. I know a number of people had. I had this job with work. I actually went into this house, and a couple was watching the episode, and I was fixing something, and I heard them talk in the very beginning of this. And it's funny because then I was over a family member's house, and they were starting this episode. I reminded them, "Oh, hey, you could watch it early. Here's my account, yada yada yada." And they put it on, and everyone said, me, the stranger, and the family member said the same shit. Pretty much was she sees zombies, and then she ducks and hides. But then they have this moment where she's raging out. And she's freaking, and she's like, brah, 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 brah. I gotta put the fan on. But, like, that part got me. And I kind of wish, and they don't have to do it like that. Imagine having Maggie in this emotional moment where she's raging, but she has to keep that, like, that scream at bay. So she's just doing, like, this grunt and rage instead of lowering. And again, it's just stupid because the zombies are right there, yet they mute her scream on purpose, but she's clearly screaming. So it's kind of one of those things where that and the quiet zombies, they do it a number of times, and I'm not really sure why the fuck they do it, because it just comes off as stupid. Oh man, it's unplugged. You gotta be shitting me. The fan might be a little loud, but I need a little bit of air. Let me take these off as well. This is friggin' hot in here. Alright, so her meeting up with Negan, for me, it wasn't anything mind-blowing. It was just simply, oh, she's been hunting him down. There's a couple lines of dialogue with the so-and-so looking for. And I kind of wanted something of weight there, yet at the same time, if the story and the plot has all the weight, them getting linked up together, I guess it really doesn't matter. But essentially, the idea is the person who took Herschel is someone who used to be a savior, and she heard whistling, and I mean, there's still a chance for them to turn it around, and I'm like, okay, that is super cool. But the villain that they're showing, I know the actor. He's been in stuff before. He's done really well in stuff before, but I just didn't get any intimidation stuff from him. I just didn't get a tight connection between Negan and this former associate. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe if there was something in the storyline of to make it clear that, you know, the former savior really adopted a lot of Negan's, ways, and he kind of looked up to Negan. Maybe if there was something like that mixed in there, I'd have a little more connection to it, but it's not doing a whole bunch for me. I know they need to introduce people, but it did feel like this episode was bogged down with some introductions. I don't really see that as a huge negative because this is an introduction episode. You're going to see some environments like the bar here, which again seems to be a little bit of a mix of positive and negative because we're years into the zombie apocalypse, yet we still see people hanging around this bar in wife beaters and clothing that's a bit ridiculous if you're dealing with post-apocalypse. I don't want them to go crazy Mad Max. I think that's been a little generic over the times when it comes to zombie apocalypse, but I do want to see some of them have maybe certain pads where they go to sit at the bar, or they go to do something, and someone puts on like something that it's clear, like, okay, that's that has something for their water, something for maybe even not toilet paper, but you get what I'm saying, like something that shows it's a go bag. This person has some armor. This person clearly has, meat that they're dried out. This person is in layers because you can go from a hot sunny day to a cold as hell nighttime. You know what I mean? Like different added stuff, especially being from up north, up by New York. I was born and raised in northeastern Pennsylvania. I know for a fact that it's hot in the day and you only get a few moments of summer, like 2 months of summer, maybe less. It's hot in the day, and this is in summertime, middle of summer, but it's chilly and breezy at night. If it's not summer, it's freezing at night. It's always freezing at night, unless you're in a really good night. We don't see layers on them. We don't see a realistic, organic look to them. That's some more nitpicky stuff. But if it was included, that's some of the smaller things that would make me go, make me get a little more hype for some of the visuals and the layers to the storytelling. Even Negan meeting with Maggie, I was really kind of hoping Maggie would tell Negan, I could get the bounty hunter off your back, and she kind of lied to him to bring him along. I was a little bit hoping for a little more in depth with their connection. I just want to mention that. But there's one moment here where we see this a lot in Walking Dead. I made fun of it recently in Fear. This moment right here, where this girl that Maggie knows is coming around the corner, and Maggie sees her, immediately identifies it's her, but still continues to pull out her knife as if the knife is a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. It's like a weapon, but it doesn't matter. The girl's like 50 feet away. And by the time she even sees her, identifies it's her, she's still pulling out a knife, but she knows her. And the girl's like, whoa, easy. It's me. Of course it's you. Maggie has eyes. I mean, what are we doing? A little story like that. This moment, though, on a positive note, showed me what I love about some of the environments and hanging out with these characters in the environments. But they did throw in music to kind of lead your emotions. Not a big fan of that, but if they can sit here, play, there's 2 times, one during the day and one at nighttime, where they play the background with the insects and the gravel and the sound of nature. They have that. If they can just linger on that a bit, and then, show the girl sleeping in the truck, move over to Maggie and Negan, the sun's going down, they're having a conversation, sharing a drink, slow it down a bit, just really grab onto the nature. That's some of the stuff that I fell in love with the original show. And they almost had it in this scene. It felt, I don't know, for me it felt like a connection to like the old Walking Dead. It felt real pleasant. Yeah, right here, this scene here. Girl comes out. She immediately sees it's her, but still pulls this. Whoa, hold on. Like, come on. What are we doing here? The showcasing the bounty hunter was he's on this morality law, yada, 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 yet you can see his, I don't want to call it evil, because if you have a law to punish this, that, and the third, but it does come off as evil, even though if they have laws to, it feels like it is a law, but you're pretty much forcing these people to be in the law. This isn't something where they came together and said, we don't have the information, but again, that's kind of how it's coming off, because these people are scared as if this is a villain showing up. Not just simply this is the law showing up, and then we see why she gets fed to the zombies. I'm cool with that. So they have their little run-in with the bounty hunter, and this is what leads them together. And you got Negan and Maggie essentially hunting down Herschel, but then you have the bounty hunter on their ass. This dynamic is positive. It's only the first episode. We only have one little showdown, and I'm wondering if there's going to be more coming up with the bounty hunter, because he knows who Maggie is. He mentioned Maggie in the bar when he was talking about them, and this is what got me a little bit excited, because then I was thinking, oh man, if they do something really cool with this bounty hunter and how he's connected. I wasn't all that blown away by the connection, because he's simply looking for Negan because Negan killed some other bounty hunters. Now, I was really hoping they were going to go for something like some survivors from Negan's old community, ended up in the bounty hunters' new community, New Babylon. And New Babylon is a community that's on the rise, but it's close to breaking. People are almost done with law and order. And this guy's like, his whole mission is making law and order succeed in Babylon, the New Babylon. And that's like his whole focus. And there's people in the community that know of Negan from the past. That's how he heard the story. But also, if he could track down and bring the Negan back, an escaped convict from an old community that's no longer existent, Alexandria. And again, make this the lore of Negan. He was a dictator. You have survivors in your group, and he escaped that community. He already, when you tried to bring him in once, he already killed 2 or 3 other bounty hunters. So you have like this massive, like, if he brings Negan in, his community that's almost on the edge of collapse because of chaos and, giving up on the law and order, if his community, and this is in his head, if his community sees that he brought Negan in, the notorious, the infamous Negan, then in his eyes, his community will just, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an R. But they'll just go nuts and they'll revel around, what he's done. And this will save his community in that aspect as far as being nailed down with the structure of law and order. They could do something similar, but as of right now, he's simply hunting Negan down because Negan killed a couple people from his, a couple old bounty hunters. We get to New York. I love the atmosphere, love the look of it, love the gross out scenes with the roaches. I'm a little mixed on the bounty hunter because at one moment it looks like he cares for his people, but then in the next moment he shot his guy and he was like, whatever. That threw me off a bit. I like characters that are a little more layered, and the bounty hunter seemed layered, but at this point in time, he's just coming off as one-dimensional. That's it. Just like, I'm kind of evil. I'm supposed to be... and we see Hollywood do this at times where he represents the law, but he's evil, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense. So we'll see where that goes. They could turn it around, but then even Maggie's like, I need him to help me save my son. And he doesn't even think twice to kill this innocent woman. The woman didn't do anything to him. As far as he's aware, this woman, I might have missed it, but the woman has done nothing whatsoever. It's interesting, though, when they get there, seeing the zombies fall from the ceiling. I thought that was pretty cool. And I had something, we'll talk about it when I talk about Doomsday Kingdom, but that's something that I had incorporated in Doomsday Kingdom, where bodies randomly fell from if you figure you get skyscrapers, something's bound to happen. And I think that is so wicked, where you're walking on the streets and suddenly, a human victim or zombie or whatever comes just crashing down on the pavement, or in this case it was a car. I dig it. They put their backs to this building, and this was like classic zombie genre shit, where you see the zombie come up on the glass. The app is going to act up now, so it's going to be hard for me to really go on to some scenes. For some reason, AMC Plus is shit when it comes to that. Whether you pause it or skip a little forward and back, it just goes to hell. I was like, where's that music coming from? Anyhow, being in New York, I do want to see more of it. Absolutely. There seems to be like this old lady. It's real weird because at one moment she's crawling around up top, but then I think she like blows out the match where Negan and Maggie lights the match. And Maggie fighting as well. I love that she has to put up a fight. And when she gets pinned down, it's not like Rosita in, season 11, 10, whatever, where they didn't even care about they didn't give a shit about the show whatsoever. And Rosita, 100 pounds, throws a grown man off her on her back. Like, Maggie's on her back and she's trapped. So she has to actually rip her necklace off and hit the guy over the eyes or the face or something. I like that. That was cool. Absolutely. We got a ton of zombies in the city. It looks like they have alleyways that are trapped to kind of tunnel people in the certain directions. I like all that. They have some gizmo. It looked like a fork truck or something. So something's going on as far as people know that they're there. And then that old lady, it's a bit of a mystery how that connects. But then we jump over to Herschel. The actor was only on screen for a minute, maybe 30 seconds as far as a speaking role and all that. And he came off with some good charisma. I'm really pulling for him because if you think about it, honestly, Maggie and Negan are the characters we're here for. If it's not for Maggie and Negan, we're only here for New York. Let's be honest. If they did a Walking Dead show and it's Maggie, Negan, New York, if you take Maggie and Negan out of it, what do you have? New York. Zombies in New York. That's it. Let's hope there's new exciting characters. Now, imagine if they were able to do something with Glenn's son, Herschel, where he's not annoying, he's not shitty, respectful for his mother, wants to learn. There's a good back and forth between him and his mom. He's not some pissy little kid, but he's actually a character that you can grow and love, and you see some of the elements and some of the charm and charisma from Glenn that you loved from that character. This could be a very, very promising legacy character that could end up being, the standout season 2, 3, 4 character if they continue to go on. We don't know the future of this series, but he has a lot of potential, but it's all up to the actor, the charisma, and probably as important, how he's written and what kind of story they give for him. So, but then the final character is just simply a bad guy doing bad shit. I don't really care. I think his ears all burnt up. This idiot escapes and it's weird. I watched the scene 3 times. He runs around the back and he jumps on a zip line. And I believe this is only to introduce the zip line for the rest of the season. And that's unfortunate where we have certain elements that are in there just to set things up. And it feels like the scene's slapped together a bit because he zip lines past them. It's so weird. They're looking at him and the guy runs but all of a sudden they're behind him now, unless I'm just not getting the angle of the shot. And then he zip lines past them. Now keep in mind, he's in front of them. And then he runs and it looks like he runs behind them, but there's no way because the way it's set up, it's too goofy. But then he gets behind them and zip lines past them. And there's a lot of dumb shit here. Some of the camera work, it didn't give the feel that he was trapped, but you get the idea because of how he was moving in only certain ways. He was trapped. I wish the camera work was better in that regard. And then the second thing is him ziplining past them. I was thinking well, why would he do that? They're just gonna cut the line. And literally, as soon as that thought finished formulating, the bad guy cuts the line. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing? So maybe it's a moment where, and again, it's a moment where I thought, well, it's kind of stupid, but, the guy's tortured. Maybe he was, sleep deprived. Oh, geez, I'm sleep deprived. And, maybe he wasn't all there and he jumped on the zip line out of sheer desperation and he's worn out. He made a stupid mistake. All right. We can make excuses for it, but it still came off as a little bit goofy. So we'll see how that plays out with the ultimate villain, if they can actually do something to make him intimidating and scary and whatever else they're going to do with him. But I know there's a couple more things, more nitpicky things, both positive and negative, that I can get into, but that's pretty much it for my overall thoughts and opinions. The episode did not blow me away. It did not blow me away. It did not make me re-fall in love with The Walking Dead like the first time watching the series. However, it probably for the first time in years, it gave me a positive feeling watching an episode of The Walking Dead. And it gave me hope that the next 5 episodes that follow could honestly be a combination of good at the very least to fantastic, especially later on when it builds up some. So I'm actually excited to check out the next episode and to check out the rest of the season at this point in time. And I'm looking forward to talking about it. I was excited to get this stream going because it's probably the first time in years I was honestly, even in the season 10 and 11, there was a few episodes where I was like, oh, yeah, I dig this. but so many episodes surrounding it were so lame that even when you liked an episode, it didn't matter because you're never going to watch it again because everything else around it, all the connective threads suck. So I'm really pulling for it so that way we actually have a spin-off that I can watch. All the other spin-offs are trash in my eyes. So I'm hyped. I wish the best for it. I did a mini review of Fear. It is ass. It is trash. I did a spoiler review of it. It's already on the channel. Go check it out. It is a joke. I love the concept of what they did with Morgan at the end on the walkie-talkie, but outside of that concept, it's a joke. It's embarrassing. I don't even know how they wrote it, filmed it. They did an edit of it. It's awful. But let's hope Dead City is gonna stay consistent from good to great for the rest of this season. So that's all I got. We're gonna get into the chat now for the fan feedback. If you have something to say towards me, go ahead and hit @MakeAPathPresents, or you can hit the link to do a tip, and it'll read anything $3 and up. I think $3 or $4 and up. It might be $4. Does a text to speech, and I really appreciate any and all support. I gotta get a new chair. The friggin' chair broke. I'm wondering, can you hit up the company and be like, yo, the chair broke in a way that should not break? Like, I'm legit sitting in it regular, and the actual weld of the chair snapped off. Like, the weld, the two bars connected where it's actually welded on snapped off. Like, that's insane. Like, I worked in sheet metal fabrication. Your welds should never break. I mean, that shit is ridiculous. Anyway, I might contact the company and see. They probably won't give a shit, but yeah, I gotta get a new chair. Anyway, something bit me? Jesus, my leg just started getting itchy, like something fucking bit me. Let me pull up the chat here. Here's the rest of the pictures we got. Yeah, this crazy old lady. Look at her. Negan on the... Yeah, this is the zip line. Somebody put zip line ? Yeah, this is the zip line. I mean, we could have done anything. I don't know, man. We could have done anything with a zip line that didn't come off as a bit silly, but let's just say he's sleep deprived. Where's the comments at? Maggie's sexy as fuck, but they only go so far. Is that all you're into, is Maggie? John, let's see. Why waste a bullet on something not close? What are you guys talking about here? Recover, regroup, resurge. Episode was just okay, in my opinion. I feel it needs something a bit more to it all. I don't know what, though. I do agree. It needs something in it. That's why I say, like, it didn't have that wow factor to me, but it needs something in it. But if you think about what they were doing with this episode, they have to reconnect Negan and Maggie, reestablish, where they were, what they were doing, and then set up the thread to go forward. And you only have 5 episodes coming up, so it should be pretty straightforward. She's on the hunt to get her son back, and Negan is ducking and dodging the marshal. Now, it looked like they killed off the people for the marshal right in the beginning, so I don't know what direction they're going to go with him. Oh, I hate the name Groaners. Thank you very much, Lady Hot Ep, for bringing that up, because I can't stand that shit. They said it at the bar, and I just... What the fuck are we doing? Bring back walkers. That has to be... that has to be new series, new name, technicality with contracts bullshit or something, because they've done it. I think one of the worst is Carry On from Fear. God, every time someone says Carry On, especially the kids, I just want to fucking slap them. Seriously, I just want to get a plane ticket, go to Comic-Con, and slap the actor in real life so hard it reverberates into the fictional world and actually touches the character's life. I'm joking. I don't mean real life brutality. That's just part of a joke. But Carry On. They call him Carry On. Like, what the fuck, how about you carry on with your bullshit and find another fucking job, you shitty writer. And groaners are the same for me. It's like, groaners, moaners, you fucking, come on. Anyway, so I hate that as well. I like that negative called Maggie on her bullshit. Negative? You mean Negan? I understand the hypocrisy of my pain is greater than their pain. Oh, I should mention as well, I said this a number of times criticizing The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 2, I should say. And Negan hit the nail right on the head. And this is something I did like, where he finally snapped and he was like, well, listen, Maggie, you still think of me as the bad guy. What if there's no bad guys? What if we're all bad guys? And second off, I forget how he put it. I'm paraphrasing, but then he said, how many husbands have you killed? How many brothers have you killed? Like, who the fuck are you at the end of the day? When you've gone this far and killed this many people, who the fuck are you to sit there and, yeah, I was a little bit over the top with, how cruel it was. But we've both committed the same crime. And if you think about it, he's right. He might have been more cruel, but they committed the same crime. Ronnie, what was better? Last of Us pilot or Dead City pilot? I know you love this question. Yeah, I'm not real big on the compare questions usually, because there's something like where it doesn't match. Like compare 11 seasons of The Walking Dead to one episode of Last of Us. It's like, how do you compare that? Compare 11 seasons of The Walking Dead to the first season of The Last of Us even. It's like, wait, what are we doing? Or compare Walking Dead to Breaking Bad. Two totally different shows. One's a slow burn. You have, the criminal element, yada, yada, yada. One's a zombie apocalypse, for crying out loud. You can judge the writing in that regard, but to compare them as far as even enjoyment-wise, it doesn't match up. I will say that's a tough one. And I'm going to have to go with... damn, that's a tough one. Because, I really enjoy some of the elements, but the punchy moments of The Last of Us Episode 1, they skip all the cool shit except for in the car when they're looking at the world as it's collapsing. That's probably the best moment in the pilot. They skip the shootout. They skip, they really don't have a good Joel and Ellie connection in the first episode. I'm going to go with Dead City. And again, I don't know, man. I don't think either one of them have that wow factor to really even... They both lose. Even though I'm more positive on... Even Last of Us, I had a positive. I wasn't blown away, but I was positive. But neither one of them has that, holy fuck, wow factor. Carry On crap is trash. It absolutely is.
I'm still amazed we're this far into dystopia, and TWD still manages to find nice shiny weapons and running vehicles. When does it end? Smiley face.
Let me put you on here. Thank you very much for the $6 tip, bro. Oliver, thank you very much. Let me put you up here on the leaderboard. And I got to agree with you. That's something that does annoy me a bit. With, hold on. I might shut the fan off if it's a little loud. If you guys can hear it too much. But that's something that annoys me a bit. The gas is in all post-apocalyptic. And we'll give them a minute to see if they mention where they get the gas, because they did this journey. I'm assuming we're going to hear gas for the boat. Didn't they have a little motor on the boat? Where are you getting a working boat from all of a sudden? Maybe I missed it. If it was there and they just used a paddle boat, did they? I forget now. What boat did they use? As far as, did they paddle, or was it a little motor on the boat? Where's my top goal? Let's add a little goal here for 11. Thank you very much, chat. After embarrassing lack of infected in The Last of Us, it's nice to see zombies being a threat in the show. Oh, fuck yeah. Ronnie, did you like Maggie's knife in the boot? I thought that was a cool weapon. Yo, it reminded me of 90s action movies. As a matter of fact, I think Jean-Claude Van Damme had a a movie called Hard Target, maybe. And he had a knife in his boot. And I remember it being such a ridiculous weapon, but we thought it was just cool just because, you know, for like a popcorn action flick. So when Maggie popped out the knife in their boot, my first thought was, how the fuck does that thing activate? But then on second hand, I like, you know, throwing in little gadgets. Even if the show is supposed to be grounded. If the zombie apocalypse broke out and I was lucky enough to live more than a week, bro, one of the first things I'm doing is creating some type of armor / weapon would be like next. I'm looking for a weapon, but when I have enough time to actually sit down and go, oh, okay, you know, I'm looking for a weapon and I'm going to analyze, what am I doing constantly? I'm constantly stabbing in, so I don't want a weapon that is like, let me pull, like if you have, you know, something that has a whole bunch of jagged shit, I don't want that because it's going to get stuck in the bone. It's going to get stuck in the meat. It'll be hard to pull out. You can stab in, but then when you tear out, it's just going to get stuck and stick there and rip. So, hold on one second. So, I would be like, okay, I need something like I said this one, like an ice pick, in and out, you know? And then armor. But these characters, most of them don't. So, yeah, it's cool having a little element like a knife in there. But at the same time, I'm like, I can understand if people are like, come on, man. There's randomly fully functioning bars and motels out there now, man. I miss the old ways where the world felt so eerily empty and secluded. See, I'm fine with having bars. This is something that if you looked at my videos years back, I talked about having communities that were interconnected where you can hit up bars and outposts and yada, yada, yada. But having this connected tissue where you feel like this is a functioning town, like I would have showed, or as a fan, I would have preferred showing people coming and going that had certain armor. And, you know, they were coming in and you can, maybe they were laughing and you overheard them talking about clearing out zombies from over wherever. And they plunk down something that, you know, the motel barters and trades with. And then you get an idea at what type of world building you're working with as far as the type of economy and, you know, what they're using to buy and sell, what represents money and finances. Because, again, you know, cash money represents money. It's not actual money. It's basically a receipt for money. So I would like to see more of that in there. And then you get this idea of how it's together, where it is out there.
I think what made me enjoy this episode is for the first time I kinda had a fear of the unknown. For years it's been the woods, but I genuinely felt uneased watching them initially walk through the city.
Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, outside of Maggie and Negan, like, they're not going to die the whole season. So the show has to really do something to not introduce cast to kill them, but introduce cast to focus on getting us, and it's a balancing act. Focus on getting us to become invested in them, but then worry that these characters are fodder, but keep them around, and then build up on the ones that we like and yada, yada, yada. Now for, as far as like the threat of the world, I agree with you totally there. Negan paid for his sins, leave Negan alone. As a zombie fan, I'm just happy to see some cool zombie action, which Last of Us didn't give. Dead City looks like it won't disappoint in that factor. And that's something I got to give Dead City credit for sure. I seen someone the other day, I got so triggered off this article, I just wanted to, I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, man. But basically the article was praising The Last of Us for being like, and praising it specifically for being like this zombie epic and yada, yada, yada. The Last of Us is barely a zombie movie or a TV show. The Last of Us is barely, I'll repeat it again, it is barely a zombie show. Barely. If you put it on the list of zombie shows, no matter how much you loved it, the characters, that's fine. Love it. Say it's an amazing show. I'm not going to fight you on it. But putting it up on a list of like all-time favorite zombie shows, it doesn't even deserve to go on top 10 because it's barely not even a zombie show. Maybe that's too harsh, but that's my point though. And my God, this article was talking about how it like it was praising it for all this zombie shit. And when you don't have zombie shit in it, how are you getting praised for zombie shit? All you did was told a drama, you know, that's been told 1,000 fucking times before. Also with the Dead City, this is something that I'm not a big fan of. The girl with Negan is mute. We've seen that since the 90s. They've been doing that. And also, she's in the trailer in the city. So that's something that's kind of dumb. Why spoil it? Why do we have this girl tagging along? You know, I'm hoping there's an epic reveal later. I think that would be cool. But if not, I just don't care that Negan had this bond off screen with this girl. We'll see though. Also agree the characters look clean and unprepared. It's like they're just a day trip to the park. No gear, no food or water. How are they sustaining themselves? Minority of thought. Absolutely agreed. That's one of my more nitpicky cons. None of these people, all these people look like they survive in the apocalypse on screen, and then off screen they go home, kick up their feet, you know? Yes, I know she thinks she can get her Glenn's son back, but dude, Negan deserves to die horribly. They nailed making the city feel scary. I feel like Dead City gives The Walking Dead a chance to bring the horror factor back. I mean, it does. It's got that chance. I tell you what, I don't know what bit me, but that motherfucker bit shit out of me. Yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, and thank you very much, Billy Walker, for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Yeah, I know she thinks, okay. Ronnie, what's your zombie apocalypse weapon of choice? Ice pick. And where would be the first place you'd go to seek refuge? My answer, baseball bat and Bunging's warehouse. Well, I was thinking about that. If there's any way to stabilize a target or something similar, it would probably be, especially down south, would probably be the ultimate place to lay your head. Something similar. First off, target is usually near highways. It's usually near points of entry to go and to come and to go. Target is usually near other stores where you could probably easily go and scavenge and get back. But if you could actually lock down a target and somehow make that work, you'd probably need a small band or a small group and put up signs and make it like, you know, radiation leak, something, don't come here, turn back now, make it seem scary, block it off. But they have pills, they have antibiotics, they have painkillers, they have liquor, they have alcohol, you know, so they have clothes, they got supplies, knives, axes, tomahawks, machetes. They have everything from sporting goods to booze to pills to clothes to camping gear to containers for water. They actually have food and water there. A store like Target would be one of the ultimate spots to snag up in the very beginning. My weapon would be survival, shovel, hatchet, and a place of refuge would be a church. You'd go to a church? Really? A church? Well, again, this is picking a place to go where others won't. It is probably going to be good for safety and survival. Because a target's going to be a fuck. But if you could pick a place that's near something where you can loot it, that's good. But if you have to go far to loot, you're in trouble. Because you got a lot to loot. Man, I love the show. If they had balls to kill one of them off, Maggie and Negan, that is. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic if they did that. But it has to be done right. Not right away, but done right. I'm going to be really disappointed, upset if someone doesn't get killed by the falling walker. Official Yada counter? Oh shit, start it up. I wish they didn't basically undo all the relationship building between Maggie and Negan from season. Oh, that is something that I am waiting to see what direction they go. Because I'm the same way. They've already done the Negan and Maggie shit. They've already done plenty of it. So having them back here again, I like some of the newer lines, like Negan telling her, bro, you've killed people, but you've done what I've done, but I was cruel about it, fine, but you still did it. Matter of fact, I kind of wish he said that. He was like, listen, I was cruel, but you did the same shit I've done. Anyway, we'll see where it goes, because if they do it every episode and they beat a horse that's dead, that's The Walking Dead, I'm probably going to get annoyed, but we'll see. Without its visual, The Last of Us TV show is nothing. I gotta agree on that. I'm not big on the TV show. I'll never watch Last of Us again, except for when I'm reviewing it, obviously. But I'll never sit down and go, oh man, I want to watch The Last of Us. No, I got the game. The game actually has zombies in it, you know? Padre got bit by her father. Yeah, that was ridiculously stupid. Fear the Walking Dead is dumb. It's dumb as shit. A weapon would be crowbar. For refuge, I would use any vehicle that was convenient. All stores would be completely emptied. Realistically, if supplies chain shut down for more than a week. Yeah, but Austin, you're talking about the grid shutting down, supplies chain shut down, this shut down. We're talking about people being impacted and a large majority of them impacted. When that happens, you have a number of them die in turn. Then you have a number of them that are killed by those that died in turn. Then you have a number of them that, you know, got killed because people were scared, because people were evil. So if you're talking in the context of, you know, society, just the structure of our society broke down, yeah, different. But we're talking if, you know, 90% of people died tomorrow and you can fight that 10%, it might be worth it to pick one of these places. I mean, if 90% people died tomorrow from a zombie apocalypse, I'd risk it just to fuck it. At that point, I'm doing this. If you get my way and you die, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't see that as being like a psycho going out killing people. I wonder what happened to Negan's family. I think he mentioned them, but it wasn't nothing major. I thought she was his daughter, but she's not his daughter. At least not right now. Actually, they could reveal something later. Who knows? But Negan said where she came from, and unless that's a lie, then her father died, and she found her father dead, and that's why she can't speak. I actually think the show was redundant bore, and it definitely will never be as good as seasons 1 to 7. I chose love it because the only shit I liked. Redundant bore. I can agree with people that were a bit bored because it is the same over and over. I gave the criticism before it aired about the kidnapping. That's one of the elements I downright loathe. I think it's stupid. I think it's cheap. I didn't do my kidnap counter. Oh my God. Well, you know what? We have something for next time we stream this. I think maybe an episode that focuses on him being kidnapped. They mentioned it, but when they focus on that kidnapping, we're going to do a kidnap counter. And like I said before, it's in the 20s. Literally over 20 times a character was kidnapped in the Walking Dead franchise. In just the TV show, not the comic, just the show. Over 20 times they've used the kidnap storyline. So that is a redundant bore. These characters, Negan and Maggie working together, that's redundant. We've been here. We've been here where she wanted to kill him, then she felt pity, but then she felt, you know, it's more of a torture to leave him alive. Yada, yada, yada. You name it, they've already done it on the main show. Introducing new baddie characters, you know, they've done it. A character that we only see bits and pieces, like the old lady who blows out the light. She's crawling around rooftops or some shit. Like, yes, they've done all this. Pretty much everything. Even the bounty hunter is the same as the bounty hunter from Fear the Walking Dead. He shows up looking for Morgan. I think he even had like a thing with Morgan's face on it. Did he? He had a trench coat. He had a hat. And you know what's funny is I showed this when Fear did it, but in Doomsday Kingdom, my comic, we have a bounty hunter called the Cowboy, and it's the fucking same. Trench coat, hat, beard. This guy's a white guy, though. In Fear and in Dead City, they were black guys, but that's the only difference. They're literally the same. So it's, you know, it's it's fucking been done. What else was the other thing that's been done? I'm trying to think. I had it on the tip of my tongue. No, it's not the rewards poster. It doesn't matter. If that's your claim, I'm not going to argue with you. I can see where your feelings are. Let's cover the poll, though. If you didn't vote, go ahead and vote. We're about to end it now. I should have done the poll in my review, though. We got a few more minutes, so if you have any thoughts and opinions, you want to throw them in the chat for me to let me know. Let's see. Loot a pawn shop, and they rely on majority of dialogue on walkie-talkies. Yeah, fear shouldn't even be a show. Too much wasted talent. I agree. I actually think the show was redundant. Okay, we already did that. Place of refuge should be a church. All that just to be locked out of by Father Gabriel. Yeah, right? I'm not going to say yada anymore. At least not like reading it off a comment. Deal? Dwight spending all that time looking for Sherry just to be that. Yeah, as soon as they said we got to separate, I just gave up on Dwight and Sherry. Like, they go through something bad and they pull this like, maybe that's it for us. You know what? Maybe that's it for me giving a shit. How about that? You stupid bitches. Get out of here. Emily was Fear the Walking Dead trench coat guy. Emily? What? Characters separating. Yeah, characters separating's been done too many times. Negan already saved, protected Herschel before in The Walking Dead. Yeah, that's true. All right, so we're going to end this here. Yeah, that's enough. We have 86% love it. 13% hate it. That is a definitely... There's one thing I forgot to mention, and I want to discuss it. The thumbnail. The thumbnail... Let me get rid of this. The thumbnail in... Excuse me. Let's put her on the screen. I got stuffy. The thumbnail on this video says, and I think it's clever as shit, but it says, Negan's gonna bash Maggie's brains out. Did I put her or Maggie? Hold on, wait, what's the fucking thumbnail? I'll just put it up on the screen. Oh, sort by what? Alright, yeah. Here's the thumbnail. Oh, I did put Maggie's. I spelled it right. Negan's gonna bash Maggie's brains out. Now, it's a play on words. I meant he's gonna fuck her, you know? Similar to him bashing Glenn's brains out, but differently, in a different way. He didn't fuck Glenn. One of the things is because the actor got questioned recently in an article about fans wanting him and Maggie to hump, pretty much. And he did say, he was like, well, there's an interesting dynamic there. And I was screaming in my head, no. But he did go on to say, listen, there's just too much between them. It just doesn't fit. And I got to agree. I know there's a group of fans that are obsessed with this. And I've joked around with that portion of the fan base. But I've also taken some shots at that portion of the fan base. Because I don't agree with the same stuff that they find interesting, but, you know, they're blended within the fan base as a whole. But those are called shippers. These are people who, you know, they watch a show and they grow attached to certain characters and they become very invested in those characters growing a relationship, which is a sexual relationship. And you know, maybe I should really process that more and see why, you know, groups of fans find it so interesting. Like, I find it more interesting. I agree with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I find Negan and Maggie wanting and thinking maybe it's better if they kill each other. I find that way more interesting than just having them in a relationship. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's living vicariously through characters, but maybe it's that you know, being interested in romance and seeing it on screen. And I think it's one of the least interesting things, you know? Because listen, you get a writer coming in here And watch how pathetic it is. All right, sit down and write a very layered and deep scene between Negan and Nagy, running through all the emotions that they're going through indirectly. So you have to say stuff that means something, but it isn't direct. You know, build on this relationship. Imagine how hard it is to write them and write it good and organically to kind of grow some sort of camaraderie, but still have this like unforgivable barrier between them. But then a new guy shows up. You can't write for shit. You show up day one, you have them yell at each other a couple times, and then they just aggressively make out, and then you cut to them banging by a creek. Done. Fan base goes nuts. The writer did nothing. That takes no effort, no skill, nothing. That's why when a lot of fans get into the relationship shit, it's no effort. It's no low effort. It doesn't take anything to say, oh yeah, you know, all right, Daryl was making a campfire. Carol starts yelling about how she's not appreciated. She's the terminus terminator, and people don't rely on her to kick ass anymore. They rely on her to bake cookies. Daryl says, he grunts like, no, you're crazy. You're still a badass. And she says, what about my fat ass? And he goes, no, you're a badass. And she said, well, you can eat my fat ass, you jackass. And then he just gets down and he goes to town. And then boom, look at that. The only difference between Daryl and Carol now is they're fucking, you know? I just don't find that entertaining. I mean, their story now isn't connected with anything that's a sexual relationship. They have such a bond as best friends that you know if Carol's in trouble and Daryl knows about it, you know instantly because of that bond and that connection. And you don't have to sit here and just throw out some bullshit. They fucking, you know. Anyway, so that's one of my things is I'm absolutely fucking against Maggie and Negan getting together in a relationship. Insanely against it. If they get together, I'm done. That's the day I'm done watching Dead City. That's one of the things that instantly I'm gone. You'll break me. Even if they do it where they have to fake making out so they can hide from, the bounty hunter. And then they were like, oh my God, how do I feel guilty? I like that. And some other stupid shit happens. They forget about it for a season. And then they hump the next season. Like, I'm gone. The moment they even fake it, I'm out of here. Anyway, I think Maggie is going to double cross Negan, and that's the plan. I think after Negan tells them, oh, you know what? You reminded me. You know what I was thinking when she said she has a plan and she brought Negan? Now think about this. What if her plan is to actually hand Negan over because Negan burnt the guy's face? If you look at the guy's face in the trailer, his ears burnt off. He's fucked up. What if maybe Negan got him fucked up by telling him to attack Rick or something? And this is during All Out War, and the dude got fucked up. So he actually hates Negan, and she turns, him into trade. Think about it. He's got Herschel. She's going to trade Negan for Herschel, and she betrays Negan in that way. That would be fucking fire. If that was revealed, I think I'm down for that. That would actually tie things together epically. I'm actually excited now thinking that, not thinking it, but processing all the possibilities of what they could do with that type of story. I'm digging that. Let me finish. I think Maggie is going to double cross Negan, or that's the plan. I think after Negan tells what happened to Annie and the kid, she will rescue him after she gets Herschel. Yeah, probably. I'm good that way, but I'm also good if she just tries to give him up straight up without helping him. Like, that's it. That's her move to kill him. Fuck it. The episode overall was fine. Didn't love it or hate it. I can't believe they decided breaking up as they're burying their damn kid. I know, right? You think they'd be devastated and unable to control their emotions, but they just look slightly sad, right? That show sucks. Slizzle said, the John Travolta Lenny James thumbnail is among your best. Thank you very much. I was putting a thumbnail together and I hated what thumbnail I made. And I had a John Travolta there because I was touching it up for a future video that I'm in the middle of editing. It's for the Flavors All channel. And I thought, for no reason whatsoever, I'm putting John Travolta in there kissing Morgan. Originally, I was going to have it like, we're kissing Morgan goodbye, because this is, and that was going to be the theme for the next couple. But then once I realized Morgan really is leaving, I didn't want to spoil it for too many people in the thumbnail. So that's why the original thumbnail had a words. It said, kiss Morgan goodbye. But I didn't know if that would spoil it accidentally, because I didn't know totally that Morgan was gone. AMC is sitting on a gold mine with the Walking Dead franchise, but they're creatively bankrupt. Yeah, Angel, that shit is berserk to me. I know there's a handful of people that get real fucking, like, I'm talking really pissed when I say, like, I can write a good script for a zombie show. And I don't say that like I'm a good writer. Fuck all that. I say that because I'm a fan. I've been a fan of zombie stuff since I was a child, So maybe it's not good, but I can give you, all the information of what a zombie fan would like. And maybe it's on them, a creative balance to, add and subtract and tweak very gently what would work. So, it doesn't have to be me either, but, representative of us, of within the fan base, the zombie genre fans. Give us something to devour. Again, zombie genre, grounded, gritty, characters with charisma that you love, and give us something fresh within the zombie genre. And I think you got something. I agree with you. A fucking goldmine. Don't forget, I was the one who said, way back in the very start, that The Walking Dead was, you can go back and look too. This is a fact. I was one among the fan base saying The Walking Dead is the modern day Star Wars. You can do tons of spin-offs, video games, books, whatever the contract will allow, and it would be a goldmine success. And even back then, it was like season 5 or something, and fans were like, nah, that's too much, that's overkill. Look at now. We have multiple spin-offs popping off. Remember when we had like 7 shows at once? They could have done that, but in a way that made the money. They could have a Walking Dead movie right now if they had the creativity. Because again, the movie would be utilizing the Walking Dead name. Give us some new characters. Keep it tight. Do something special with the environment, but focus a spotlight on the zombies. Make that Walking Dead movie the zombie popcorn epic. Like, nothing stupid like Z Nation, but make that like, yo, I love these characters, and my God, like the Train to Busan of zombie stories, where you have an emotional punch, you like the characters, it's a nice tight script, but you're there with a spotlight on the zombies. It's just popcorn fun, especially with today's day and age, what you can do visually with how they look and everything else. Like, they are sitting on a gold mine. Whether they know it or not, I don't fucking know. The Negan Herschel trade plot twist would be crazy. Bro, that would be crazy, right? I mean, I think that would be cool as fuck, because again, the guy is, someone look it up, he's wounded somehow. His ear is like all fucked up. I think the only way to make it work is for Maggie to kill Negan in the end, and Negan is one and only Walking Dead universe character I care about besides Troy. I think for her to do that, it needs to be a catalyst for something big for Maggie. At this point, you've already done damage to the Maggie Negan dynamic. Remember, if it was fresh, imagine, Maggie fooling Negan, they're at a little skirmish. She tricks him, traps him somehow, and gets him either in front of a crowd or whatever. He's a little bit beaten on his knees. Maybe he doesn't even think she'll go through with it, but then she pulls out Lucille, and you have Negan killed. And I even said this for the comic. I thought that would be a good way to finish him off, would be having Maggie beat Negan to death with Lucille. And use that as a full circle type of, because that was his karma. The day that, Negan picked Glenn out and bashed him in the head was, the beginning of the end for Negan himself, coming full circle with, having Maggie do it. But I don't think you can do that or anything similar because they've done too much bullshit in between without fans being like, well, that was stupid. They they did this and this, but he saved Herschel, but he did this. You would have to do something like Maggie turns him in, and then they have like this all-out mini battle, and then one of them die. That would work. But to just do it now all of a sudden, I don't know if that would flow. Yeah, training Maggie would be a badass revenge. Second season, Negan hunt down Maggie, right? I mean, you could really really ramp up this back and forth between Negan and Maggie, where she betrays him ultimately in the first season, and then somehow in the second season, again, you don't want to repeat the shit, but you can do something where, I don't know, like the enemy of my enemy is a friend type shit, What is the fucking enemy of my enemy, whatever. I think they're going to have Herschel not want her to trade him and will stop her, which sucks. But, if they do that, that would suck. You're a fan and a great writer. Well, thank you very much, D. Gainey. It's not often you get, well, actually, you do get quite a bunch of support around here. We got a fantastic group. But internet, I tend to get a lot of negativity on the internet. But I think the Crow asked Maggie to bring Negan to give her son back, and she led him to trap, sold him, but after what will happen, she will not sold him. What the fuck? Right now I'm leaning into that because I really want that to pop off. Technically and realistically, zombies should be gone. Yeah, RJ, you said this before, and I so disagree. I can't even understand why we're talking about this. That's like saying, hey, RJ, let's make a vampire movie, right? But they fucking starved to death and died, so let's not do it. I don't mean to be overly ridiculous, but my point though is the zombies are the only thing that's fake. It's supposed to be. That's how these work. There needs to be a name for it. I don't know if there's one in the industry, to be honest, but everyone points to Jaws for years, decades, when you'd read screenwriting scripts for a few decades now. Because I've been reading screenplay scripts since the late 90s, and even then I remember they mentioned Jaws, which was only like, 20 years, let's say 15 years. No, Jaws was 70-something, right? It doesn't matter. But my point, though, is even back then they talk about Jaws was the perfect example for having the one, and they did call it like the one fantastical element, and the rest is real life. Jaws works because the shark is fake. How the shark acts is fake. Him hunting people down and blah, blah, blah. That's all fake. But everything else is real. That's so very important to people that are interested in the grounded universe, because it's so much easier to have people connect emotionally, to have a more, let's just leave it at that. Imagine if you want to do realistic stuff. Imagine if, here's the thing. Let's just keep it as an explanation for just simply the zombies. Let's go one step further outside of the zombie being the fake thing, so you give it more leadway. But let's just cut to the point, though, is this is about zombies, right? So sitting here and even considering taking zombies away, I don't care how realistic it was that they degrade, but don't forget, the zombies being a zombie, they actually preserve in a rotted state, and that's from the creator. It's canon, but there's no way for scientists to say that, but it's part of the canon thing. And that's fine for me personally, because again, why would any zombie fan want to find a reason for the zombies to not exist? I don't know. I mean, and I think it's great that we see a ton that are old, but you could just still pretend like new communities started, growing up and then turning, people going out on runs, turning, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was thinking the same. She was going to use him and leave him. I'm liking that idea. The way they kind of zoomed in on the side of his face made it seem like they were hinted that he got the iron. Maybe. I might have missed they zoomed in on that. I thought they were just zooming in on his face being creepy towards Herschel. There is no reason for the Crow to talk about Negan with Herschel, but if Herschel with him to bring Negan, that makes sense. Hell yeah, Maggie betraying Negan would be cool. It would, wouldn't it? The last moment that Maggie had to kill Negan story-wise is when she returned near the end of the main show. Did you watch the last episode of Fear the Walking Dead? Yes, it was trash. I already did a video on it. If so, who was the person at the very end that picked? The person at the very end is Troy. I know there's a lot of people saying he's not. Well, it might not be Troy, but Troy is coming back. I don't know if anyone wants the definitive answer, but it's Troy. Troy's back. And I can't fucking wait. Because Troy was killed. I'm going to pull it up real quick to end this. Does anyone else want to say anything before we end? I'm going to pull this up because Troy is dead, bro. He's fucking dead. Let's do Troy death. Aw. Final hours of T. Roy? No. Troy. Walking Dead. There we go.
Alright, so this switch, this arms the detonator.
Yeah. That switch arms the detonator. Alright, so here we go. This is Troy. He's gonna yell at Madison, say, I'll do it all over again. She's gonna get mad at him.
Do it all again.
I kind of miss Nick. The actor has good charisma. I don't know if he's been in anything lately, but...
And you would too. You know you would.
You know you would.
Because you understand. And
Troy had good charisma, too. What they did with those characters, it was stupid. They could have utilized them more and done something. I understand why the showrunner killed Troy, though. Because he loved the character of Troy so much, if I remember right from an old article. He did not want the new showrunners to write the Troy story, which is fucking gold. And he killed him off so that no one could rewrite for him. How fucking funny. How even disrespectful is it that he kills him off so they can't use him and they bring him back from the dead because they don't give a fuck. They're so creatively bankrupt. Their mind is in a goddamn loony bin. Imagine they're just licking windows, doing whatever the fuck they're doing. They're getting cookies from their executive at AMC. They're just feeding them cookies like, good boy, what script do you got for us today? You're so good boy. And they're just like, licking windows, fucking writing scripts. We bring Troy back. Now listen, this is a good hit with a hammer. Bunk. It woke him up. He's like, whoa, shit. You know, bitch means business. But it also cracked his skull. Now, it didn't open his skull. Not yet. But it cracked it. Made it a little mushy. And he's fucked right now. And he's looking at her like, you bitch. But I'm hard. And then, and see the blood? Then she goes, fuck it. Let's finish this. And I always thought Madison had the weirdest fucking swing I've ever seen. She has like this, like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. My chair's breaking, bro. Look at this swing. Whose body does that? Let me move over. Look at this. What's this, the Quasimodo of hammer swings? What are we doing? Do you have a hunchback? Madison. Did you not know that the camera could pick you up at this angle? What the fuck are you doing? Let me move back. And then watch this weird ass swing. It's like, I don't know. It's like this. Anyway, this is the moment right here. See this moment right here? This. Troy's dead. He's so fucking dead that he instantly went from on his knees in the dirt to burning in hell. He's actually in hell right now. Troy's not even on the ground in that scene. He's instantly sent to heaven. And this little hole is his fucking head splitting open. It gets better. Yeah, look at that swing, Madison. She has to be injured. Is she injured or something in this moment? Because that's such an awkward swing. Look at her. She looks half crippled. So he falls down. And here we go. You ready for it? Oh my God. Give me that juicy brain matter. Look at that. Can you guys even see that on this screen? Because it darkens it when it uploads it to YouTube. His brain is falling out of his skull. And not even like up top. We're talking like near the jaw, like his orbital bone where it connects to the back here, in front of his ear. Like that shit is, yeah, it's right in front of his ear. That's his brain. This is his brain. If you can't see it clearly, that's Troy's brain. And the writers are bringing him back. It gets better. After this scene, it floods. You can see it good. It floods. And they show him go underwater. He's dead. Dead, 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 dead. Fucking dead. And they're bringing him back. Window licking fucking turd nuggets. Alright, so Troy was 100% dead. Yes, but they're bringing him back. Plus, new zombies are born every day in this world. Exactly. Why did the bounty hunter kill his own guy? Was that intentional? No, that was an accident. Did he think he was Negan? Could you just say wildfire disease preserves the walker body anyway? You could always just say that the wildfire disease preserves the walker body anyway. That works. If you could have a Walking Dead spin-off, what location would you have be the set piece for Italy? No. If I was going to do a Walking Dead spin-off, if I got the green light tomorrow, it has to be snow. I'd pick snow. Now, depending on where we were allowed to film, like, does it snow in Italy? I mean, pick a cool location, add snow, and go from there. I mean, it would be tempting to do something comfortable and, you know, some paradise shit, but honestly, snow would probably be the next, like, official, because then you can play around with some really cool shit, man. That's what I would lean into. Troy was dead as fuck, brain leaking and drowned. Troy last thought. Damn. I feel like too much of a coincidence for a former savior to have his face burnt when Negan's main form of punishment is hot ironing people's faces. Right? Back when Fear was a good show. I like Troy, but bringing him back from the dead is ridiculous. Oh, it is. It's ridiculous as fuck. Fear is going to end as someone from The Walking Dead's dream or some shit. Oh my God, it should. It really should. Yeah, the hatred for it. Yeah, so people are saying Troy is dead, and I agree with you. He's dead. That's confirmed. But I will tell you right now, he's back 100%. They killed him for sure, but they are bringing him back. The new shitty showrunners. Angel said, "Yo, Ronnie, what's the next movie for your Flobber Saw?" Well, don't forget, Last of Us Episode 1 is coming up, and then we're going to do The Walking Dead Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are already done. I just got to upload them. And then the next movie is Halloween Ends. I know we're behind, but I had something come up where I was able to get a new job. Long story short, the job is going to be like, Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. So I'm going to have very limited time, but it's going to give me some financial ability to start funding. Like for Flobber Saw, like I need a new chair. That's like $150, $200. I mean, done deal. I could probably get an office chair, but you're still going to spend like $150. I got to upgrade the computer. I'll be honest, that's $3,000 right there. Done. Because I need to upgrade something that's going to be able to handle higher quality video. So that way I can actually edit, Blu-ray quality in my edits. And I can do the long 20, 30-minute videos. Anything I do over 10 minutes chugs. And I just don't like asking the audience for, because right now the way this is set up is I can only do based off of how much money you guys give me straight up, because ad revenue doesn't cover shit. We're nowhere near as big. And I don't want to sit here and ask you guys for money to grow this. So I got this job I'm starting. It's going to bring in some decent money. I'm putting it towards my comic, Doomsday Kingdom. We're going to get the website stocked up with all the old back issues. I'm going to, upgrade the computer, the chair, other shit I got to do. I got a camera to upgrade. But I'm also doing the videos. So hang in there. But that's going to be the next 2 to come. Predator's coming, The Thing is coming, and these are all this year. And if anyone wants to support on the Patreon, that's going to be the main way to support getting videos out faster. Because if I can supplement, my time between work and my job and editing and split it in half eventually, then I can dedicate, definitive number of videos. So right now we're going to have these videos plus some talking head ones, no editing at all. I just don't have time. And then Flaw vs. All, that channel is going to have all the edited content. So just hang in there. The new schedule is going. So I just need to, I need things to level out, and then I can start rocking and rolling. I mean, I enjoyed Fear season 6, but for 6 seasons, but the writing in 7 is so terrible it actually made me angry. This season, I've just been sticking to your reviews. Thank you. I feel you there. He can't even turn with a head wound like that. He did. I agree. I haven't kept up with anything Walking Dead. That's insanity. This is your brain on hammer. I agree. If this episode is an indicator for how the Daryl show and Rick Michonne show will be, then I'm excited. That's a good way to view it. I mean, I'll be excited if that's the case. Alaska would be interesting, just different, just because it's so different. Yeah, I'm not necessarily down to go all the way to... Oh, thank you very much, Anonymous. Whoever Anonymous is, thank you very much for adding to that. Where are we at? Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily pick Alaska. I'm not real sure, but it would definitely be... And again, any and all tips are going into the fund to upgrade the equipment. We need computer upgrade. We need the camera upgrade. And those are, I'll be honest, those are the Flaw vs. All upgrades. Right now, we have an upgraded camera for the stream. We already have that. And this thing looks great on stream. So I might even just use this for the Flaw vs. All. But it's coming together. We'll see. Dead City has a chance for a snowy New York in Season 2. It could. I mean, they could. That would be awesome. Fear the Walking Dead is just throwing turds against the wall to see what sticks. Fear the Walking Dead is so bad, it's throwing turds against the wall to watch them race down. They don't even realize that they're trying to stick something to the wall. That's how bad it's gotten. You need a chair with charisma? I agree. Looking at gaming chairs, they're often cheaper than office chairs and good deal more comfortable. Yeah, I actually have a gaming chair. I said office chairs, but I meant like I think I bought a gaming chair. I got my daughter a gaming chair. I've had office chairs in the past. I think I said that because you can get cheaper chairs where you can sit in them for long periods of time. All gaming chairs are going to have an increase in cost just because they're gaming chairs. And you really got to hunt because you can find some trash for a lot of money. And it sucks, but I found that out. I tested a few chairs that were expensive and they sucked. I mean, they were terrible. And they were only expensive because they were fancy looking, like, colorful and all this shit going on. And they sucked, I had to return them. But this chair, I fucking love this chair. If the welding didn't break, I'm actually kind of really pissed that the welding broke. If it didn't break, I would still be keeping this chair. I love this chair. Start a chair fund. Mob would help. I appreciate it, but I'm just gonna... It's too close to when I start. I'm starting in a week. So, I'm just gonna get a chair with my first check. Fuck it. I do appreciate the support, though. If they're bringing Troy back after bashing his head in and then drowning him, then they could bring back Glenn as well. They might as well at this point. Did you hear the rumors of Stephen Ogg might return as Simon for a flashback scene? I think that'd be pointless, but sure, why not bring him? You think Kim Dickens was aware of how bad Fear had gotten when she agreed to return to the show? you know what? She probably doesn't watch it, so she probably didn't. She probably heard people say it fell in ratings, definitely. Doesn't the Creo, however you say that, give you Pope vibes? A little bit. I'm holding back. Can't you repair the chair? No. Because you have like the metal bar, and you have 2 bars that come down, so they sit like, imagine like a T, picture an H, but the middle of the H, a capital H, there's 2 bars that weld to 1 bar. Well, where they welded, the weld stuck, obviously, because it's a weld. The metal around the weld ripped right off. So you have the bar, the weld, and the other bar that it was welded to ripped right off. Now, if I could take it to a shop, I mean, let's say I was still working in the sheet metal shop, I can go in there and have one of my friends who does like TIG welding and probably take the metal that ripped off that's connected to the old weld, because that old weld is still there. He could probably re-weld another part there, and then I'm good. That fucker will hold. But what has me concerned, though, is that metal broke. Just straight broke. Like, that's metal. That's fucking insane. I'll take it for anyone who's curious, though. I'll take a picture and put it on my Discord. That's the only thing I can think of. But maybe I'll pull up, because we actually opened up Discord again. If anyone has it, maybe I'll pull up. Give me a second to pull up the link, and I can share the link. Don't worry if you're in Discord, don't make a link. I think I shut it off so you can't even make links. Only because someone was in there and they weren't participating, but they were making links, and some people who joined from their link was acting like a shithead. So I just cut it so I'm the only one who can make links, and we limit it and yada yada yada. So where's this copy and paste? There we go. There we go. There we go. Link, copy and paste. Discord. Aha. Copy. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. That's the Discord link. Alright. I agree. Work comes first, and then the other stuff. We need to make money to get what we need, hoping we have more hours at work within the next few months myself. I feel you, Angela. Yeah, I mean, a big part of it, I got excited because the channel was doing really good, but what hit us was when YouTube had that whole shit where the advertisers pulled out, that hit hard. And then I stubbornly thought, let's ride it out and see if we can. And what ended up happening was the channel went from making a few grand a month to making next to nothing. I think we dropped to like $600 a month. And then a few months later, it dropped to 200. But that's because I had to cut back on the content, because the content was still getting views, but YouTube didn't have the advertisers, so they pulled, money in advertising off. Anyway, that happened in a period of 2 months. It went from that drop. So what I ended up doing was substituting part-time work. So I would work part-time, but in odd jobs. So I'd pick up a job, construction, painting, this and that, and this and that. So I'm working odd jobs, and then I'm part-time editing content for YouTube. And I did that for a few years. Sometimes I would do more work away, and in those cases, the YouTube channel is suffering some, but it's so inconsistent because it's randomly like, okay, I have a plan for next week. I'm doing this, this, and this, but this job all right, I go do the job up, it ran long, or it ran late, or it got cut short. And then we'll come back and be like, yada, yada, yada. So I'm kind of relying on an actual schedule that's going to be this time to this time. It's this specific job. Go in, bang it out. They're going to pay to train me to get into HVAC. So in the future, there's a lot of money. So if I can rock this out, the YouTube, the way I want to look at it is, I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous, like a pipe dream, but I really am looking at the YouTube content as a passion project that I want to grow, and I do want it to self-sustain it, but I'm always just going to be looking at, keeping my job and funding it, first and foremost. But then once we grow and we have a set schedule and all the money that's coming in, any money that's coming in from YouTube, I can actually put that into an editor. So even though I'm working, I could come home and do an hour, 50-minute recording of my vocals on camera, give it to an editor, and he can edit the whole Flobber Saw while I'm at work. Then when the video makes money, I just give the money that the video made to the editor, That's part of my game plan. Because then I can do, 2 videos a month, 4 videos a month. I'm still keeping the job. It's still funding everything. And then any of the money coming in for YouTube, instead of me having to rely on any of that for your part-time job that I was yada, 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 any of that is going directly into the editor to edit. So we'll see. That's part of my end goal, but I have to find an editor and get everything. What's I'm talking about? What's the word I'm looking for? Time management, but get a schedule going, strict schedule. Anyway. Yeah, YouTube is definitely harder nowadays than ever before to create for profit. I mean, now given you could do a number of things and start making a lot of money probably quickly. But the only problem though is when you're talking about longevity, like there's just no future that I want with that. Like, even if you were to make the money off it, you would have to at a certain point say, okay, that's enough. I want to do what I love doing. And the same people who were following you for that other content, most of them probably don't give a shit about what you love doing because they're there for that. Like, if you got into politics is probably fucking easy right now to jump in and make money from it, because you'd blow up fast as long as you get the right, you got good sound quality, you're covering the hot stories, you're pumping out 2 to 3 videos a day, keep it sweet, keep it simple, be honest and put it out there, because right now people are really looking for that. You probably blow up, but then that's the thing. In 2 years from now, are you going to be like, okay, this is great, I made money, I got a big audience, but I want to review movies? Your people are probably going to go, no. Anyway. I thought Madison died long ago. She died, but she's back. Troy's 100% dead, and in super unlikely chance he did survive that. He'd be a vegetable. He's dead, but Henry, he is back. He's 100% back. Listen, he's dead on the show. We know he's dead on the show. However, the showrunners don't care. They're bringing him back anyway. Yeah, YouTube Shorts is something that's popular, but why is it the way to go? I mean, what's it going to do? If you're talking about YouTube, I don't want to make YouTube Shorts. I don't want to be some fucking idiot just putting, like, I see this all the time where someone takes someone else's video because it takes zero effort, and they just sit there like this in this screen while someone's making a stupid taco, and they're like, and they don't do anything but this. It's like, what the fuck? You should be able to push a button instantly and forever, like, nuke those channels. Those channels are dog shit, and I constantly have to click, do not recommend this channel. Do not recommend this channel. Because I don't want to see some asshole who stole someone else's video. They make a face once, and that's the video. Or dancing. I don't want to dance like a fucking spurg, faking videos where it's like, I played a prank on my girlfriend, my daughter. How many times have you ever played a prank on someone and you're holding a camera recording their reaction and the person doesn't instantly know, oh, that's for our video because that's our fucking livelihood? Like, I don't know who devours this content, but I don't want I would rather clean toilets for the rest of my life than make a living making that content. And that's why I'm not doing YouTube Shorts. Now, I will do YouTube Shorts to promote the work I'm already doing. Fuck yeah. Take a clip of my video and pump it out there. And that is a plan. I've already done some, and I will do some. But as far as like only doing YouTube shorts, nah, fuck no. I'd rather just work a real job. You know? If we can get away with bringing back obviously dead characters, can we have Shane back? Might as well. Bring them all back. I have a Chrome extension which removes YouTube shorts entirely. That's nice. Yeah, shorts are shit. Like, I'll scroll through some, and I swear, YouTube is obsessed with, there has to be something where they're pushing trans content or whatever. Trans and pride content. There has to be. I'm on YouTube, and I watch about movies. Movies, video games, like documentaries, true crime. I'm devouring true crime, whether it's hearings that are actually like court hearings, whether it's actual interrogations, both edited, analyzed, or the raw interrogation. I'll watch like a 3-hour interrogation. I still get a flood, non-stop, uncontrollable flood of trans content. And I don't understand where the fucking algorithm goes wrong, because skip. Not to be mean, I just don't give a fuck. It doesn't touch my life at all. I don't look at romance pranks. Fuck all of this shit. It's not interesting to me, so I skip it. But I notice YouTube doesn't flood me with pranks. I hit a couple, skip them fast. I click do not recommend. And YouTube, they fall back, but nope. Pride and trans, you get flooded. Or politics stuff. A lot of politics stuff, they fucking overdose you with it. And at first I'm like, well, maybe I listened too long on a short. But some of it, it's like, come on, bro. I want movies. I want video games. I want true crime. Load me up. It's not that hard. 3 fucking topics. But no, God fucking bid. Interrogation vids suck you in. Yeah, I love them. Bring back Morales. Yeah, why not? Then turn Madison, explorer groups, and destroying them, and then it became about his son, and then it became about Morgan. What are we at? The Walking Dead with ups and downs, but it had a story to tell, starting point and an end point. But The Walking Dead started a series about beginning of the crisis. And I see what you're saying. Those silent reaction vids are useless. Yeah, they are so fucking useless. I don't mean to be mean, but I think it's just because I've seen it for so long, and I can't fathom who out there. I'm sorry, if you're watching this review and you watch this content, not my content, I don't know why you're watching. No, seriously. If you're watching YouTube and you're watching a channel where somebody barely even moves during their reaction, no joke, and all they're doing is stealing other people's videos, even other reaction videos. Like, I'll see it'll be someone reacting to something else, and the first person's actually reacting. They're like, oh, what's he doing with that? Oh, that's nasty. And then the third person stealing both videos is just like this. Who the fuck what idiot out there is subscribing to these fucking dumbasses? Which one of you fucking morons is giving these people more clout? It does nothing. It does nothing. Daryl Dixon show teaser is out. Oh, I'll check it out. Kraut looks like John Malkovich. Yeah, he has that look. Recommendations, lol. They're not mine. Take them back. Yeah. Just like reaction channels, a reaction of a reaction. Yeah, but it's one of the point though is I don't hate reaction channels, but it's not an exaggeration. I could probably pull up shorts right now where the person literally is just like, what is that? What is that? There's a handful where they don't even move. They're like, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. It's, as a viewer, it's an insult you would dare upload it. I don't give you any clout. I don't watch your video. I click, do not recommend this motherfucker. This bum ass, bitch ass, fuck boy, get him out of here. I'm not watching your shit. You didn't do dick. You didn't do dick. You didn't even do dick. All you did was grab someone else's video, you stared at the camera for 10 seconds, and then you posted it. Fucking hell. Very lazy way of making videos. Yeah. I mean, that and some of them, like, they're getting more creative. Facebook's the worst, but people faking videos drives me nuts. Not just because they're getting clout, making money, having a blast, faking videos. That part I don't really give a shit. If you're even clever enough, you know, and you're doing it and yada, 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 like, that's on you. You put in effort, you made it clever, you did it, you did it. But some of these are low to no fucking effort. Terrible acting. Some of the worst acting in the world because it's all staged and, you know, rehearsed and yada, yada, yada. And you get people in the comments that are like, oh, she flipped out. Oh, he went nuts. Oh, he, oh, they, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 people who are fucking brain dead, you know? How do you not know that shit is fake? On some real shit, they need to make a system where you can point these people out and lock them off from other aspects of society. Like, you're not allowed to vote, can't own guns. Like, you people should only be able to go to the grocery store for food, go to work, and go to fuck home because society would be better off without you. We're not going to murder you, but we just don't want you participating in society because you're fucking brain dead. You are Troy after he got hit with the hammer. Anyway. I'm not saying make it your main content. Yeah, but you just said do the shorts. You didn't, you know, so, I mean, if we're going to communicate in broken sentences, then you got to understand. I have to just guess at what you mean. So I get you now. But I do use them as promos, and that's the only thing I'm doing forward, using them as promos. I love shorts for what I think is very useful when you actually have a content going and you have a structure and a release date and yada, yada, yada. Let's say something changes. You got slapped with a copyright. Do a short. Guys, this video is going to come out Friday. Warner Brothers hit me with a copyright. They're being some Warner bitches, you know. Fuck them all. Fuck them. I'm going to see you next Friday. I got another thing. I'll do a live stream. Like, shorts are fantastic for that. Shorts are fantastic if you're out and about and you just capture something wild and you want to share it to your subscribers. It might not, you know, it might not be relevant to all your content, but it's a short, you know, throw it up. Maybe you do joke around. Maybe you do a skit, you know. Shorts are perfect for all of those. One after the next, do it all. So in those regards, I love shorts are included. I think they're brain dead content for the most part. And I've given them a shot. I've scrolled through shorts plenty of times to, you know, I know that unless something changes, YouTube short for content, it's just not for me. I think it just makes you retarded. And I'm not trying to be fucking retarded. All right, recommend. They're not mine. Okay, make sure YouTube reactors are cringe. Low hanging fruit. Oh, let me look up. Where did the video go? Oh, shit. Oh, Troy's death. Footage of, what is it? Daryl Dixon teaser. Tease me. Tease her, bro. Last hour, today. Daryl Dixon sneak peek. Let's do it. I can't show you. Let me just watch this. Oh, he's on a boat. I'll show you in a minute. I had a thought, and I think it ruined it. Oh, he's on a boat. This is a real picture. Someone shared a picture of Daryl Dixon on the top of a capsized boat. This is fucking stupid already. This is dumb. I'll wait and see, but here's the teaser. Is this really what you wanted me to see? Whoever said this is a teaser, you got my hopes up for nothing. This ain't shit, bro. What is this trash? He's on the top of a boat. Yee-ha. Yip, hooray, whatever. Alright, so we knew he was going to be on a boat. We know he went there and did nothing. And part of me thought, how cool would this be? Maybe it's not cool. But listen, what if Daryl got close to finding Rick? The Daryl Dixon show starts, and there's some like huff going on. I don't know, maybe like there's a whole bunch of lights and some sirens, and Daryl's like, I don't know, crawling through barbed wire and doing some fucking crazy shit, and maybe he's even on a boat. Alarms are going off. Yeah, he's on a big, tanker or something. Alarms are going off, and he's like running through different areas. He's hiding, and he's doing this, that, and the third. Long story short, you show him in like this quick, chaotic moment, but then you show him wash up on a lifesaver boat. What are the ones that you know what I'm talking about, where the ship's going down? What the fuck? Whatever. An extra lifesaver boat. So he hits the shore on the boat, and we find out that he did find Rick. He didn't meet him yet, but he found who has him. He tried to rescue Rick, and he failed. But in his escape, Rick was able to do something to save Daryl's life and get him off. So Daryl did find Rick. Rick maybe even put something in his pocket, note in his pocket, but Daryl wakes up with the knowledge that he found Rick, but he failed. The CRM tried to kill him. Rick was able to put his pocket. So he has this note from Rick. He did find him. Rick was there. He was passed out or injured or knocked out. But he doesn't know how or what, but Rick scribbled like a couple notes down. And, or I don't know about the note, but you get the idea, where he was looking for Rick. He found him, but he didn't have a chance to even like talk to him. But that's how he ended up there, is whatever happened in that situation. But write it real clever like and cool like, so that way the CRM, put him there, or maybe he landed there escaping the CRM, but he came this close to finding Rick. I don't know, man. I think some of that shit would be fucking amazing. Lifeboat. Yes, thank you, lifeboat. What was I saying? Lifesaver? Oh, man. Yeah, lifeboat. They try to transport sand with a grocery cart. Oh, hell yeah. That's what they do. Gavin's ghost. The red cutscenes are awful. All I see is red. You know how stupid this is? The red is Dwayne's blood. Listen, the writer, Scott Gimple, could do an interview tomorrow and say, no, he actually saw like sheets of red, and you're full of fucking shit, If you look at Scott Gimple's writing, and if you look at Morgan and how this is what happened with Morgan. Dwayne was at the top of the steps. His mother bit him. Blood bursted out. That red, that visualization, once the red blood just blew out of the wound of his son, that represented his son is dead. It's over. It's done. Like, he failed. He couldn't pull the trigger. And because he couldn't pull the trigger, his son hesitated, seeing the zombie form of his mother, and he's dead. And it's Morgan's fault. And the red blood was the representation of that. That's his traumatic break. The red blood is his mental break. And that when he's yelling at Rick, he says he was at the top of the stairs, and she was on him, man. Remember, that performance is amazing. He said she was just on him. And he says, and then I see red. All I see is red. That was his mind breaking. He's not seeing sheets of fucking red while he's zoning in and out of attacking. You get what I'm saying? Like, god damn. And then when he was fighting Rick, he was able to communicate. He's like, you're wearing a dead guy's face. Like, he didn't believe that was actually Rick. He was able to communicate, and they interacted. Rick was like, it's me, it's Rick, blah, blah, blah. When he's seeing red and he's going nuts, Madison and them are yelling at him, and he's just like another person. Like, it doesn't line up. It doesn't match. It's done worse. It's shitty. So did Morgan die, Ron? No, Morgan's not dead. He's just out there. The Daryl Show Tuesday uploaded on Twitter. How does he even get to France? I don't know. Is there another teaser? It's on Twitter. Oh, let's do it, yo. Is it AMC's Twitter, though? Let me see. Daryl Dixon. God damn it, it's the same fucking one. It is. Son of a bitch. It's the same one? It is. It's just him on the top of a boat. Just hope he gets a haircut. Daryl's wacky, Titanic-looking ass, the Game of Thrones font. Oh, man. Still wearing his biker gear. Yeah, it's ridiculous, yo. Lifeboat. Flotation station, yeah. I just don't see how much story or substance they could do with Daryl to warrant a whole show. We'll see, man. The red flashes get old really fast. Oh, they were very annoying. Ronnie, trying to remember Lifeboat. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Maybe I am a window licker. It's actually worse. Where did that come from? I had an ex-girlfriend that used to call me a window licker all the time. I hope she was joking around. Actually worse. That Fear has some great actors and characters and is incredibly... Oh, yeah. Walking Dead went off a cliff, man. Tater sauce. All right. We got to shut her down. If you got a last-minute question, you got a minute or two. I made some sick Lego Walking Dead. Oh, wait. I should show this off. I picked this up. Someone sent me a picture. The sheriff... Where are you at? Where are you at, you son of a bitch? I think it's Sheriff Rick Grimes, Daryl Dixon. He's got one of those long, crazy-ass names. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah. James the Sheriff Dixon. James the Sheriff Dixon was kind enough to send me... I told him he didn't have to send it because he ran into Christopher Lloyd and he got this signed. Where's the picture at? Now, I'm going to have a hard time getting it complete, but I got to find a way to meet Michael J. Fox and then I could get him signed in it too. I think that would be friggin' awesome. But where do I have him sign it, though? If I have him sign it up here, you know what I'm saying? So that way I still keep the image of there. But if he signs it down here, it'll match. I don't know now. But there's probably a slim to none chance I'll ever meet Michael J. Fox, but that would be amazing. But if I ever do, I'm going to bring this picture and have him sign that. But yeah, big thank you. He sent a photo. I love this picture, too. I don't even remember this much from promo. Look at a dog doing a little high five. That's friggin' awesome. Dog's doing a high five. But yeah, big thank you, James the Sheriff Dixon. Sent a picture of my favorite movie of all time. Which I have two favorite movies if we're talking about horror / body horror. The Thing from, 1980. I always screw this up. I gotta remember it. I think it's like 1985 or something. But the 1980s, The Thing, somewhere around there, and Back to the Future are my two favorite movies of all time. Walking Dead went off cliff. I've already read that. Haven't been on live forever, but been bringing the channel lately. Been binging the channel lately. Hope all is well, brother. Thank you very much, Mr. Anita Bong Hit. Anita Bong Hit. Hell yeah, I feel you there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's gonna be eventually when, because in just a few years, my daughter's gonna be graduating high school, going to college. That's gonna be like my second life. Like when she goes off to college, like that's like for real, my second life. 1982 The Thing. Thank you very much. Once she does that, like part of my plan is, she's taking the cat. I bought her a cat. I regret it every single day of my life because I don't do well with hair on my stuff, on anything. Like I just don't do well with hair. The cat's not allowed in the office because she likes to knock stuff down. Gets hair everywhere. I can't do it. On my clothes, on this, on that, I can't fuck with the hair. It's too much. So, once my daughter graduates, she's taking a cat. But she's going to be going to college. She's going to be hanging out with her own friends. And I'm going to be pretty much doing nothing, So, setting up a house that's nice and comfortable and having like a Back to the Future display. My vision is a mini thing display just because there's not a whole lot that's real huge. So a mini thing, medium-sized Back to the Future, mostly like a DeLorean and maybe like, 2 6-scale figures. I don't know yet. We'll see. But then like an epic Predator, Predators, like visually, fuck yes. And then a little zombie thing, Blu-ray movie, little theaters, and then I'm set. That's all I need. Kitchen, workout room and a theater, zombie room, I'm good. I don't say this with pride, but I've never seen Back to the Future. Oh, man, you got to remedy that. Ronnie, I hope you review the rest of Fear, partly because I don't know if I want to watch it myself. I will tell you, if I do anything with Fear, it will not be a live stream. I'm telling you right now. If I do review Fear, and I'll tell you another thing right now, there's a very good chance once Dead City ends, I'm not going anywhere near Fear because I'm not giving AMC any money for AMC Plus. Once Dead City is done, I'm out. I'm tapping out. So I don't know when Fear returns, but I'm no mas. I'm tapping out. Yeah, it's never too late to watch. It's never too late to watch. Yeah. We'll give Angel a chance to watch. But I do have to get going now. We're hitting 2 hours. Is it good, Ronnie? Back to the Future? Well, I think it's, in my eyes, it's one of the most, as perfect as you can get for a movie. It's one of the most perfect movies, I mean, don't go in there expecting like some sort of crazy visual extravaganza, If you didn't grow up with it, I don't honestly know how much you'll like it. But all I know is just looking back at it and rewatching it, from beginning to end, it's an incredible movie. I mean, it has visuals there, it has a story there, they have characters there, it's got this creativity there that so much of modern storytelling is missing. Look at The Flash. Like, The Flash is a brand new superhero movie, and as much as I want to love it only because Michael Keaton is in it, all of it is reused story elements. Every last bit is reused, and not even any extra creativity went into the extra reuse. Everything. What Flash does in the beginning, what Flash's motivation is, what happens when Flash does what he does to create the storyline, what happens with those characters throughout in the middle, even the ending to resolve what happens has been done not only in regular movies time and time again, but specifically in movies that deal with time travel. They've done it to death. So I will probably argue that almost the entirety of The Flash is all reused with little to none unique creativity in it. Like when you look at Back to the Future, my God, like the fucking DeLorean, the way it goes back in time, the way that they had to come back to the future, like, even Marty and his look, like this is a kid just in like jeans and a, puffy jacket, and like his look is iconic, Doc, and everything about the movie is fucking iconic. You don't get that in modern shit. You're 27. I just haven't seen it. In all honesty, it just never hit my radar. I'm not sure how that didn't hit on your radar, really. So much to trial stories, but it feels like they reuse the same storyline. They do. Like, I won't say anything until you guys see The Flash, but once you've seen it, you'll know. From beginning to end, it's all reused. Relatively new, too. Not like old. I mean, it's just 2 seasons would be good. Not too long, not too short. You mean for Dead City? That's awesome to hear Juliet's graduation. Congrats, Ronnie. Oh, thank you very much. Like I said, she's got a few years left, but she's about to be 14, so she's gonna be driving any minute. I mean, probably in a week. You know how time goes fast. She'll be driving in a week. In a few months she'll graduate friggin' high school, and then she'll be on her own. So I'll be pretty much starting my second life. You know how that goes. Because once they get at that age, they don't, they're hanging out with their own friends. They don't need you as much. You see them, once a week, unless they're living with you or whatever your situation is. Even then, they're coming and going. They're more independent. So, that's, I'm making plans for that as far as the second life and the second act, maybe. I loved when the DeLorean went from car to hovercraft. I feel you there. That shit is banging. So much to do with time travel stories. I feel like, Ronnie, do you have a favorite alien movie? To me, it's Alien. Such an epic movie. A favorite alien movie? I got a couple. Alien and Aliens is the top of my list. E.T. is up there too, though. I am a big fan of E.T. I think it has problems, but probably because I grew up with E.T., it's more nostalgic. However, there's just something visually. E.T.'s another one where when I was growing up, I recognized immediately E.T. is nothing like my childhood at all. Like, E.T. took place in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. But when we went trick-or-treating, we were in the north, and I think E.T. takes place in California. In California, they go, or maybe it's Hollywood, but they go trick-or-treating during the daytime. We didn't do that. In October in Pennsylvania, it's pitch black when you start going trick-or-treating. And they're walking around with like tons of people in little neighborhoods. We didn't have that. I mean, you drove around, pretty much drove around even when it comes to the city part of it. Hopping out of your car, house to house to house as the car's creeping up. Like them walking around with tons of people walking around. Even still, though, when you rewatch that, nowadays it might remind you of Stranger Things. Because as much as I love Stranger Things, the first season especially, Stranger Things is almost one for one a copy of E.T., but done in a way that it feels like a paying homage, not necessarily just a ripoff. But have you seen Prey? I've seen it. I thought it was okay, but some really stupid shit, like how that they defeat the Predator, that was really dumb. I mean, really, really unbelievably dumb. That's like one of those moments where someone says it's a fantastic twist they didn't see coming, only because they didn't think about it. Because it's so stupid, you should never think about it, because essentially it breaks the lore that they set up earlier in the movie. And the second thing is the Predator forgets about his own equipment, which is insane. All right. Now I feel like my account won't be accurate. Possibly community chat will be gone for about 10 minutes. Did I miss anything? Yada yada. You seen Prey? Honest, I heard of it, but I never got around to seeing it. Was Marty McFly? Will be cuffing my jeans for work. I still cuff my jeans. I'm not even crying in a corner. Will I be crying in a corner? Why? I can't believe telling me Julian to college, so time flies, bro. Right? Right. All right. I really gotta go. I could sit here and talk a lot more. You guys know how I do, but I have to go. I want to see if my daughter wants to play a game on the computer before she goes to bed, actually. I'm out of here. Thank you very much for supporting me. I'll see you guys next Sunday, but stay tuned. In the middle of this week will probably be the last opportunity I have to do a live stream with you outside of Sunday streams before I start the new job. And that's going to be like a 10-year anniversary celebration live stream. But I'm also going to let you know what the plan is for the channel and what I'm doing for some of my projects for the, after the 10-year. Because this 10-year, we're pretty much done. Done. Wrap it up. I got a few new projects and a new way to do it. We'll talk about that in the coming live stream. So have a good night. Thank you very much. Be safe. And that's it. That's all I have.